Good evening. Welcome to the reading of my short story, People Will Love. She wasn't sure if she was relieved or she wasn't sure. Yeah, right. That was just a lie she was convincing herself of, but she knew the truth. She knew very well she was more than relieved that now she was certain that her husband had never been unfaithful to her. How was she so certain of it? Well, all it took was mustering up enough courage to breach his privacy, enter his basement, and snoop around for a bit. You see, until then, there was always the tiny worm of doubt dwelling deep inside of her. Was he hiding something? Something big? Something important? Something about some other woman? I mean, what else could it be? What could possibly be the reason for him to have his own basement, which she was explicitly forbidden to enter? Even after 10 years of marriage? Come on! She was convinced he was having an affair and that the evidence of it she'd find in that basement. The thing was, she never had the courage to step into that notorious basement. I mean, he never did give her any real reason to doubt his fidelity. He was always completely devoted to her, and all of his attention and love belonged to her, and no one but her. Before they had gotten their son, that is. After that, his attention and love were juggled between their child and her, which is only natural, she thought. But that tiny worm of doubt was gnawing on her nonetheless. Why? Who knows? We can only speculate. But the most likely reason is that she simply figured that no one could be such a perfect husband, and of course, the first thing that crossed her mind was infidelity. Furthermore, her confidence suffered a substantial blow at work that day. That was the last drop. Her glass of insecurities was overflowing, and she gave in. She sneaked into the basement while her husband was away from home. She knew his secret now, and even though she hadn't admitted to herself yet, she was very much relieved that the secret was not an affair. However, what she did not know how she was feeling about was his quite unique hobby she had discovered down there. The first clue was large plastic bags. But let's be frank, large plastic bags can have several quite reasonable and practical applications. It's the same case with rubber surgeon gloves and white coats stained with red wine. Also, the collection of knives of various shapes and sizes, all of them as sharp as a razor, doesn't really mean a thing, does it? Now, a herbarium with a collection of human skins instead of plants in it, so filled up she was barely strong enough to hold it in her hands. Well, that was quite a bit harder to come up with an excuse for. It was about time for her to face the facts and accept the truth. Her husband was a serial killer, and if she were to judge by the herbarium in her hands, a very experienced one. So now what? Over the course of his career, he had murdered about 100 people. That was true, but he was so lovely to her. He was a great father, a good neighbor. He got along with her family. Even dogs loved him. And they say the dogs are the best judges of character. Yeah, dogs are the best judges of character, and they love a serial killer? Great job, dogs. Amazing instincts, no question about it. Damn it. What was she to do now? She should report him to the police, right? That's the right thing to do, is it not? But how? How could she do that? How could she betray him when she loves him? How could she condemn her son to grow up without a father? And how would she, after all is said and done, face the world, her family, her son, her husband, a mirror? She didn't know what to do. She was pacing the basement as a caged lion would. Would she be capable of condemning the man she loved to a cage? Would she be able to live on without saying a word, as if she had not discovered a thing? Should she talk to him about it all? She was not able to make a decision on that evening. She climbed out of the basement and locked the door after herself, while he was watching her from the shadow of the apple tree they had planted together a week after their wedding day. Standing there in darkness, reminiscing about that sunny day, and wondering once again how the hell did that apple tree ever take in, since, let's be honest, neither of them had any idea what they were doing. He knew his wife had discovered his dark secret. So now what? Over the course of his career, he had murdered about 100 people, that was true, but would he be able to kill his own wife in order to save himself? To kill the woman he loves, the mother of his son, the woman that was by his side no matter what, the woman who blessed him with a family he never before even dared to dream of having. Damn it, what was he to do now? He should kill her, right? That's the most prudent thing to do, is it not? But how? How could he do that? How could he kill her when he loves her? How could he condemn his son to grow up without a mother? And how would he, after the deed is done, face her family, his son, the emptiness that stays after her? A mirror. He didn't know what to do. He was pacing under the apple tree as the caged lion would. Would he be capable of taking the life of the woman he loved? Would he be capable of quietly accepting the woman he loved condemning him to a cage? Should he talk to her about it all? He was not able to make a decision on that evening. He came into the house and hugged his son, and then his wife, who had apparently also decided to play dumb and not bring up his hobby tonight. They spent that evening like any other normal happy family would. Tomorrow they'll think about other things. The question that lingers, dear reader, the question that most of us may not be able to answer right now, but someday in the future might be, is how far would you go for the people you love? What would you be prepared to risk? Your own life, lives of others, your freedom, your moral codex, everything you have and might eventually have? Would you rather lose them or yourself? Don't be fooled by the many sentences. The question is still only one. What do you think your answer is? Thank you for listening, People We Love, by me. If you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you next week with another story.